Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where it was pointed out to me that because we are also guaranteed by the United States, apparently we could just attack these guys without the US intervening, because we're also guaranteed. Multiple commenters pointed that out, and we'll try it out. Thanks for letting me know. That's definitely not how guarantees work in other Paradox games. So if that's how it works here, great. That's amazing. In fact, I'm really happy about that, if that's the case. We're going to need to tick forward enough to justify a war goal against this that will be 11 more political power, but I would rather do that than have a war against the Allies right now. I would prefer to expand safely, if at all possible. So instead, we're just going to do something like this, and our offensive line will be something like that. How's that fill-in look? Great. And just a reminder, I'm not very experienced in this game, so there may be some things like that where I just assume that they work a particular way because most Paradox games work that way. If that's not the case, please let me know. I would be most delighted to find that out. So we are, of course, working on our infrastructure up here in the Amazon, and that will be necessary. We do definitely need to work on our We need to get at least 25 logistical throughput up here, and that should be coming through fairly quickly, in theory. Now, we're not currently producing any tanks. Oh, no, we are. We are producing 5 tanks. Okay. We should probably start working on training a single armored division, then. For right now. There we go. We're not going to train more than just the one armored division for now, because I don't think that our factories can handle that. But that's okay. If we can expand into Bolivia, that will help. That will help quite a lot with our factory situation. And I do want to look at our current construction situation. Yeah, I would like to get 3 more factories, that's for sure. We need to start justifying on Bolivia. And we're going to do that right now. That'll cost us 25 political power. And that'll take 125 days. If you guys are lying to me and the United States intervenes here, I'm going to be upset. But apparently the United States can only intervene in this situation if they do the Pax Americana, which I don't believe that they've gotten. Where is that in here? It's in their War Plans division, I think. Intervention in the Americas into somewhere down here? No. I forget where that is in this tree. I have not really played as the US. So it's in here somewhere. But apparently they can only intervene if they do the Pax Americana. Which I have not seen them do that. How are things going in Europe? Well, poorly is the answer. If you're anyone but the Germans. We have available planes in our reserves. And I do want to take a look at our air bases. There's not really much of an air base out here, is there? I feel like we need to prioritize construction on an air base. Actually, here would be a good location to prioritize construction on. So we're going to do that. Those are the 2 things that we're mostly concerned about. We did get some infrastructure built in the Amazonas, and that means that we are currently not taking attrition over here. And these guys are supposed to be assigned over here. There you go, buddies. It's apparently 21 divisions. I want to select all. I want to remove these orders. And everyone here should be assigned to this order. Get over here. Fantastic. We definitely do want an airbase over here. At the very least, we want to be able to do air superiority. That is going to be pretty important for us. Are we low on supply again? Yeah, that was just recalculating. As this infrastructure ticks up, it should get theoretically better. Now, I'm not expecting these divisions to have a lot of punch through, right? That's not something that we're really set up for. These air bases are building very quickly. I'm quite pleased to see that, actually. That is wonderful to see. And of course, we do need to continue working on our infrastructure up here in the Amazon, but we also need to work on our infrastructure here. And we're going to do this. This is what we're going to do for now. Now, we're going to have to work on all of this, right? But for now, that'll do. Okay, it's going to take us a while to move. That's okay. It'll take us a while to justify on Bolivia. That is completely fine. So we are going to do exactly that. And after that, we're just going to start working on conquering a lot of these areas over here. That's going to be very, very important to us. In fact, we should probably begin justifying on Paraguay fairly soon. How far are we on this one? Okay, it'll be another 100 days. That's a while. All of this research will finish up between now and then. Aviation effort will as well. This will add 2 air bases to Rio de Janeiro. I didn't realize that. That's quite good. Not amazing, but quite good. And we now do have an air base over here. So let's go ahead and add a new air wing, and this will be just interwar fighters. And we're going to say that there is currently supposed to be 200 of them here. We only have the 16 planes. But we're going to want to do air superiority over... Let's see here. What is the actual border here? Okay, that's not much range. I'm not shocked by this, of course. We'll do something like that. Did we build those synthetic refineries? Or are we still researching that? We're still researching that. Okay. Just wanted to double check that one. And we'll be arriving at the Bolivian border here fairly soon. I'm going to take it back up to speed 4. I bumped it down because I was planning on joining the Axis and going to war immediately. But while we're waiting on just movements here, I'm going to go ahead and bump that back up. I would put it at speed 5, but the game gets really choppy at speed 5, I think just because of single-threaded performance, ultimately. So these guys are working on and that's absolutely wonderful. We do have a lot of constructions that are queued up here. But like I said, we're not in any rush here. We're not constricted by any timelines. So we're going to take it slow and steady. Bolivia will be our first conquest, and it'll be a nice one, I think. Aviation effort has finished up. That's fantastic. We are going to grab the fighter focus, for sure. That is guaranteed. Italy lays claim to Greek territory. Citing the Roman Empire as a forerunner to the modern Italian state, Italy has claimed that an independent Greek state has no right to exist. Instead, the Greek territories must acknowledge Italian supremacy in the Aegean or have it seized by force. The Kingdom of Greece has denounced the claims as ludicrous. However, Italy has the backing of the Axis, so Greece has joined the Allies. Fantastic. So yeah, these divisions look fairly weak to me. But I think we'll be able to push through this reasonably well. These cavalry divisions are still on their way down. These guys are still on their way down. It'll be okay. I mean, we're planning this right now. If we look at this, it's considered to be risky because there's a large river crossing, and our division is still preparing, and some divisions are not in position. Overall, that's not too bad. So that'll go fine, I hope. I would like to have some tanks for punch-through, but alas, we're not really set up for that just yet. Not quite yet. So we can now have up to 600 airplanes here. Our range on these interwar fighters is abysmally bad, and we need to upgrade those as soon as... After reaching out to the German government, Bulgaria now seeks to strengthen relations with Italy. Boris III and Benito Mussolini have signed a research agreement, developed by experts from both countries, to facilitate the development... Oh, hello. Thank you. Thank you for notifying me of that. To facilitate the development of modern military equipment for their armed forces. Along with this agreement, the Bulgarian government has implemented new economic regulations to promote the investment of Italian capital in the country. They're indeed dealing with the devil. That is our synthetic oil experiments done, and we are absolutely going to start working on getting ourselves some better fighters. We're going to work on Fighter 1 immediately. Fantastic. How long on this justification? Still a while. We're about half done. Okay. I don't really want to attack Paraguay just yet. I want Bolivia to fall, then we attack Paraguay, then we attack Uruguay, and then maybe Argentina, Chile, Peru, El Salvador, Colombia, Venezuela up this way. See if we can get a super narrow fight against the US up here if they don't decide to, you know, do the smart thing and do a naval invasion, which they should, but we'll see if they do. They definitely should do that. There's no doubt about it. Now we should definitely grab... Let's see. I think Army Defense. But we need to keep in mind we need some political power for justification. And we're going to start justifying on these guys quite soon here. 65 political power. Is that because we're already justifying? Where do we see the actual cost? I think it's because we're already justifying on somebody that's costing so much more. So I'm going to hold off on that then, and we'll just wait until this one's done. That's fine. Okay, so another 40 days until we're ready to declare this. And this is now considered good. Our division is still preparing. And yeah, we're on a balanced manner. That's fine. Ah, we've got ourselves a new infantry division, and we're going to assign that to a new army. And we've also got a second infantry division and a third infantry division. Fantastic. So we're going to put these guys with, say, this guy in charge. We're going to put these into a Coast Guard sort of situation, where they're going to be doing an area defense of all of these areas that are on our coasts. Now, this is not entirely on the coast, but that's a minimum division count of 46 to be able to hold that, but we'll just get that started for now. We are, of course, doing a lot of recruitment. We are currently training 57,000 people. So I'm sure that'll go fine. I'm sure that'll go fine. Okay, about 30 more days on this justification. I do want to get this one started, but I think that this increase in cost is indeed because... And duration. The increase in cost and duration is because we already have one going. Okay, so let's see here. What did we just get there? That was Concentrated Industry 4. And I think assembly line production is the way to go. Production efficiency cap is really good. And we're going to grab that. Ah, yes! Plinio Salgado questions Bolivian sovereignty. Who determines the borders of a nation and how they're determined? Whatever way people may have found in the past to justify where integralist Brazil ends and Bolivia begins, we live in a new era. The strategic importance of this border cannot be overstated, and we're well within our rights to shift it to ensure the continued security of our people. An invasion of Bolivia appears imminent. Dissenting voices have objected, but public support for war is on the rise. Indeed. Fantastic. They're currently researching why we fight. That's nice. US is doing the Lend-Lease Act. Okay, so these guys, that's an infantry division. They will join our Coast Guard regiment. Fantastic. And of course, these guys, they're going to be ready to invade basically as soon as this justification is done. Which will be a while yet. There's no doubt about that, especially if I keep the game paused like that. How are we doing on our logistics up here? Huh. It looks surprisingly good. Unfortunately, I'm not sure they'll remain that way. So there's that. We do have a good stockpile of... Actually, we don't. We are still working on upgrades for our infantry equipment. Well, that's fine. We definitely need to get our planes upgraded. There's no doubt about that one. Infantry offensive, sure. We are going to immediately begin work on armored operations. That's armored cars. But it does enable blitz and elastic defense for tanks and armor variants, and helps the tank's organization. So I guess that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Our war support is quite good. We're going to get advanced computing machines in 5 days. That will be a big boon for us. That's an 8% research boost. That's a huge deal. I do think that a chief of army is the most important thing. No, I don't want OBS options. Thank you. Okay. Fighter focus. Yep, Romania has just flipped over to the Axis. Pressured by powerful elements in his government, King Carol II of Romania saw no choice but to announce and sign his abdication. His successor is King Michael, but many of the dictatorial powers obtained by Carol have been vested back into the government, and so it's unlikely the young king will be able to wield similar power as his predecessor. Following his abdication, Carol appears to have emptied his expansive bank accounts and has fled into exile, taking up residence in one of Mexico City's more expensive neighborhoods with his mistress Magda Lupescu. Amusing indeed. Okay, so we're going to grab Aviation Effort 2. And we're going to assign these guys into our Coast Guard. Perfect. We should be done with this justification very soon, 10 days. Advanced Computing Machine has finished up, and that is huge. That is really, really huge for us. I do want to start working towards... I'm not that interested in heavy fighters. I think I'm more interested in going down the tactical and strategic bomber route. Specifically the tactical bomber route. So let's begin working on our... This will be necessary later. It's not truly necessary right now, but I do also want to begin construction on... Let's see, we needed several fuel refineries, 3 to be precise, and I want them to be up here. I'd also like to get 3 more civilian factories, 1, 2, 3, and everything else becomes military factories. Like so. Now, these are all pretty high priority to me. I think the highest priority is going to be the civilian factories, so I want to be constructing faster. So we'll get that underway. That should go fine, in theory. And this justification will be done in just 6 days. So that's wonderful. I do want to get ourselves the Army Defense Expert. I don't think the division training time is all that important because I think we're going to be manpower limited. We are on limited conscription. If we go up to extensive conscription, that does hurt our training time. But I don't think ultimately this is that big of a problem. We did just finish justifying, and let's go ahead and give this a go. I'm going to make a save first, in case you guys lied to me. If you lied to me, I'm going to be upset, and we'll revert. Sound good? Okay. So we're going to conquer. No potential enemies. That's a great sign. Okay. In we go. The German Reich is inviting us to join their faction. I'm sorry, we're not ready to do that. I would be interested in joining the Axis, but now is not the immediate moment for that. I'm not surprised that that prompted the German Reich to invite us to their faction, but yeah, I'm not prepared for that. So we are winning these battles. And hopefully Bolivia will crumble pretty quickly. It does look like they are outmatched here. Yeah, they're definitely outmatched here. They only have the 1 reserve unit. This war, I think, is pretty over. They may try to hold the mountains. They're definitely going to lose this territory quite quickly here. And that's great. That's exactly what we want. Yep, there go the borders changing. We can modify our government, and we're going to grab our division defense guy. There we go. And we're going to start our justification over here as soon as we can. We do need 1 more political power. Only 2 political power for that? That's pretty nice. Yeah, I do like that. So let's just wait for that. And 41 and 50 political power. Okay, that's more like what I expected. 2 political power would be kind of... So yep, they're definitely crumbling. And this is good for us. Hopefully we can press into those mountains. It can be rough to push into mountains, but their morale is already quite low. We've already done a lot of damage to them. How are our logistics looking? Acceptable. Our logistics are acceptable. That's great. That's what I was really concerned about fighting up here, was the logistics, but it looks like that's under control. And we are losing fuel right now, but I do want to prioritize these fuel refineries above the military factories. Okay. There we go. Fantastic. And yeah, they're definitely crumbling here. We're going to continue pushing in. What are our orders looking like? We're moving pretty slow. This isn't... And we're supporting this over here. Yeah. Yeah, I think Bolivia will fall pretty quickly here. And then we'll get constructions going over here as necessary. And that'll be fantastic. So we can definitely see our manpower is dropping. That's not shocking. We're recruiting extremely heavily right now for our current size. Oh, don't worry, Peru. Don't worry. You have nothing to worry about. Okay, we're grabbing territory over here, looks like, trying to flank their mountains. That's great. I'm very pleased by what's going on here. The main thing that's slightly problematic is our fuel usage, right? So we definitely need to get some of these fuel refineries built to fix that problem. They'll be built soon enough. They will be built soon enough. But hey, the conquest of South America has begun. Next up, United States. We'll have to go through the United Mexican States first, as well as a few other locations. Hopefully the US isn't too upset about this. No, they seem pretty okay with it. Cool. They're working on scientific research and development. I mean, that's good for them, for sure. Not so good for us that they're doing that. So yeah, I mean, we're having some logistics issues over here in that it's taking us forever to move around through the jungle. This was fully expected, of course. We're not really surprised by this in the slightest. And we're just saving up our political power right now to declare on Paraguay. They are the next. And we're just going to try to snowball our power here. That's the goal. We still have a lot of economic power to work on here, there's no doubt about it. And let's look at our states here. Yeah, we can actually get another factory in here. What is built here currently? A military factory and 4 civilian factories. And that's nice. That's very nice. But we're about to get to La Paz. Fantastic. We're still working on pushing in here. Like, you can see, the bulk of our forces are not even at the front lines right now. We're currently losing this fight, but we have reinforcements on the way in. And we're looping around behind them, which is completely fine. Yeah, they pushed us back here. But our reinforcements are now heading in, and this should be no problem. Unfortunately, this airbase isn't very useful anymore. So we're going to tell these guys, for right now, to stand down. And that should mean that we're stockpiling fuel again. And then we'll use these guys against Paraguay. That's the name I was looking for. I completely blanked it for a moment there. Yeah, I mean, we're struggling a little bit with these mountains, but it looks like it won't. And we're not shocked, to be clear, that we're struggling with these mountains. What is our current recruitable growth per month? Only 1,000. That's not great, to be sure. That's not great at all. I would like to bump up to extensive conscription, I think, but beyond that, I think is starting to get pretty painful in terms of penalties. Yeah, they managed to get their horses up here. You're supporting that attack. Okay. Well, we're going to have them pretty surrounded shortly. We have them on the run, for sure. They're attempting to hold their mountainous terrain, and we figured that would probably be what would happen there. This wasn't shocking in the slightest. What are our orders looking like? Okay. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Grab a little bit more territory here. Fantastic. See, doesn't it just look like it was always part of Brazil? It's so great. We're definitely losing some manpower in this war. I mean, if we look at this, we can see how many we've lost. They've lost more than we have, so that's a good sign, but our losses are up there. There's no doubt about it. We're up to 31k losses. It's a little painful, but we should be able to start getting in here and making sure that they can't resist us too much more soon. Yeah, there's just going to be these last couple of locations. Aviation Effort 2 just finished up. Well, let's go ahead and grab our Close Air Support effort. Fantastic. Bumping it up to speed 4 here while we wait for these maneuvers to happen. Fighter 1 just finished up. We have outdated equipment in production, and we're going to swap this over to Fighter 1, of course. And we're going to begin work on Fighter 2 immediately. Fantastic. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode we'll finish off Bolivia, and we'll go after Paraguay, which we should start justifying on. There we go. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.